Welcome back, everybody, to Guns of Verdun. That's correct. My occasional series where I go over the firearms of the First World War game Verdun and talk about the real-life versions that I possess. Alright, so this rifle here. This is the Model Lee Enfield, or the MLE rifle. The first version of the famous Lee Enfield. This was the original MLE number 1. So this is, can't remember if it was 1896 or a little bit later that they introduced them. So it fires a 303 cartridge, and it's basically the primogenitor of the classic number 3, which is the iconic SMLE. So, in terms of in-game, how this rifle is, I actually quite like it. The sights are not, I wouldn't say they were battle rifle sights, but they're certainly not as fiddly as marksman sights. So you can sort of aim exactly what you're looking at in particular and have a reasonable chance of hitting what you've got, while still having the peripheral vision to be able to see shit coming up behind you. Now, as for how the rifle is modeled, extremely well. It has the volley sight on the left there. You can see it flip down, and you can see the volley sight on that side. You've got the barrel bands are all correct, the sights are fine. If you look at that little round knob to the side there, now that's a loading port. So you click that in, you can basically single load the rifle, switch it out, and then you have access to the rest of the magazine. As you can see, the bolt and how the firing thing looks is perfectly fine. You can see you've got the cover over the bolt, that bolt cover protecting it. You can have a look and see how that goes there. So in terms of how it's modeled extremely well. But right here, the reloading is what irritates me the most, because my MLE rifle I can actually reload it with stripper clips. But for in-game purposes, you have to single load it. Which A, doesn't make sense, because like any 303, you could just attach the magazine. Just detach the magazine and replace it. Or you can just load it with stripper clips. Now, I'm not sure why they chose to make it so in-game you have to single load it, but you do. And what's interesting is you don't actually need to put in the charging hand, or the loading gate handle on the side there for single loading rounds. So if you're just loading it, you just shove another 303 round in there. So that's my real big and the only irritation of mine, is the fact that you can't stripper load it with stripper clips when in reality you can. Everything else about it, how it sounds, how the bolt sounds, how it looks, is brilliant. It's just that one little inaccuracy that bugs the crap out of me. But overall, I would rate this a decent rifle. However, as I said, the lack of a fast reload is what means the number 3 will personally be a better rifle in terms of gameplay. So, let's have a look at my real one. Okay, so here we have my 1901 Model Lee Enfield, my MLE number 1. This is actually the first historical rifle I ever got. Dad got it for me as an 18th birthday present, which is pretty awesome. So yeah, this is as I said, my first 303 as well. MLE, so as you can see here, got a few 303 rounds, so 5 rounds in a stripper clip, which you can actually use, because I've used them before. A single round there. I don't know if you're supposed to use stripper clips with MLE, but I was able to do it, so I don't know. Maybe it was just me, how I managed to do it, jamming it in there. But there's the forend. As you can see, you've got the sling swivel on there, and the barrel band. As you can see, you've got the sights right there. Interesting one little fact about the sights. The sights are actually sighted out. There's the volley sight, as you can see. The volley sight was designed to shoot at targets over a mile away with sort of indistinct or suppressing fire. So it's not designed to be accurate at all. Basically, as you can see, you've got a little flip up sight up here. So basically, you flip that up and then you look through that little hole and line it up with the bead there, and basically just pull suppressing fire on. I don't actually know how often they were ever used, but there you go. So, yeah, there we go. You've got the markings on the side on that one there. So you can have a look. It's all good. Quickly back to the original sight, so just while I'm remembering it and turning the rifle over. There's the loading gate there. The original sights are actually sighted in for having a bayonet on the end, so you actually need to aim higher than you think. So you can see that's the safety catch there. Unusual things here. As you can see, magazine. I need a GoPro. Doing this one-handed has always been a pain in the butt. Alright, pull. Come on. Sorry about this. There we go. Right, embarrassing, but there you go. So that's the magazine, 10 round 303 capacity. Shove that back into there like that. There we go. So as you can see, you got the bolt. Got some more markings on there. Like that. Put the bolt up so you can see the bolt cover. As you can see, there's that shroud on the bolt protecting it right there. So there's inside the breech, and the bolt itself. If you have a look at that there, as I said, that's the I don't know, loading port gate, single loading port. So basically, you push that in, and basically that allows you to single feed or single load rounds into the rifle. So basically, you just plop one in at a time. That's the old school British Army Martini Henry sort of style of thinking. And then push that bolt up there. So you can see like that. And then pop that out if you want to have access to the other 10 rounds in the magazine. So you've got the stock and all that there. You've got the brass butt plate and the cleaning rod and stuff obviously goes in that little hole. There are the original markings, so New Zealand Army 1901. That S400, no one knows what that means. The history records have lost that to time. They believe it meant South Island issue, but who knows. So yeah, that's my pride of my collection, my MLE number 1. So cheers for sitting through it if you did. And hopefully I'll